I was talking, I'm back in the Hoard today, and the train's here. That's good timing. Okay, I can't lie, I heard it coming, started the camera, knew it was gonna make the whistle. But hey, the train is part of these videos too. Speaking of the Hoard though, I feel like it needs a new name, because I feel like I'm making progress now, and Hoard kind of has a negative connotation, or at least that's what our culture, our society has given it. And a lot of times hoarders or savers are made to feel bad about that. But here's the reality. There's nothing wrong with us. Nothing. In fact, there's a blessing in the value that we see in things that others might carelessly throw away. Those are resources. Now, I think where we get into trouble is the management of those resources. We don't often take that vision and turn it into something, into a project. We let our pile get so big, our stash, our hoard, that it becomes overwhelming. We're immobilized from doing anything with it. And that's kind of what I felt at the beginning of this project. It was just too much. There was too much here. And I didn't know where to start, I didn't know where to go. But by tackling it 1 hour at a time, I really started to make some headway. And I've started to feel a lightness coming. The weight that was on me having all of this stuff is beginning to lighten as I see it turn into things. It's just a good feeling. I hope some of you are feeling that too. I've gotten a lot of great comments that really encouraged me, that this series has encouraged you and challenged you to tackle those piles in your life, those hoards, those collections, so that that potential in those resources can be realized. There's huge, huge satisfaction in that. And the reality is that we have those things to make into stuff. So my challenge to you is make the most of your stuff, make the most of your hoard, figure out what's there, classify it, and then make it into stuff. Create projects. Give it away. Let someone else make a project out of something that you've got. There's lots of ways you can manage that. There's not just one thing that's guiding me in this process. There's lots of things. And some of those things are coming from you in the comments. So first, give me some suggestions as to what the new name for this space should be. Because you've been part of this process, you've been part of the encouragement. And since your well-wishing, your encouragement has helped power me forward in this pursuit. There's a chipmunk right there. We're not calling it Chipmunk Corner, that's all I'm saying. That one's off limits. And number two, give me some principles that guide you as you deal with your own stuff, your own collection, your own hoard. What have been the things that have propelled you forward or that you're calling on? For me, today, it's going to be continuing in the pursuit of finishing what I've started. We're going to be working on the shed today, and I'm going to be pouring the footer wall for the 2 French door glass corner. That's gonna happen right down here. It might have been that guy that I saw. That's actually who's in the birdhouse over here. Let me show you. There he goes. Thank you for getting bugs out of my garden. They're both so little, it's hard to tell the difference between the male and the female. The slat wall looks really cool at this time of day when the light is coming from behind it. It hits all the edges of the boards and the openings and kind of brightens them. Okay, that was a little side trip there. Let's get back to work. So my workspace is going to be right here in this corner. I'm going to be pouring a couple of footer walls, tying it into the concrete subfloor really that's already there. Be pouring another layer on top of that. Almost forgot these. For my formwork, I'm going to salvage from the firewood pile. A couple of small chunks of concrete to level that corner. This one's already open because I bought it like this. Whenever I see bags of concrete that are broken out in front of the Home Depot, I buy them because you can get them for like 50 cents each or $1 each versus the $3 or $4 they normally cost. But this one's been sitting in my garage for a little bit like this. I had it covered, but it's hardened up a little bit. I think usually I can just smash this up with a mallet and it loosens up. Didn't get wet. Gonna put my mask on while I'm mixing the concrete. Safety first. Nothing a good malletine couldn't fix. Alright, this video is going to be cut in half here, so this can cure a little bit, enough that I can set the doors on it in the second half of the video. It's the next afternoon, and I actually let this concrete begin curing overnight. It's not full strength, of course, for 28 days, but I used the last of my mix to, at least what I mixed up last night, to just put a scratch coat down on where the hearth is going to be filled in. I'm going to go ahead and unform the corner here and then frame it out to accept the doors. This is some scrap concrete siding. I'm going to use that as the ledger underneath the doors. Should have had my mask on to cut that. I'm masked up now. All right. The glass corner is in place. Obviously, I've got a lot more trim work to do on that, but that's kind of where I wanted to get. That was a beast. That door was solid, I'll say that. And actually, I figured out it's double paned. The other one is not. Alright, so this is beginning to take shape, and I'm really happy to have that glass corner finished up. I think from here the momentum will continue. Got a lot of painting to do inside. I know, Gina, you were asking if I'm going to go smooth with the green wall right now, and I think what I'm going to do is caulk some of those deeper, more open seams, and then leave the seams there. I kind of want that patchwork, but I am going to go with a kind of a lighter gray, I think, for sort of that tone on tone look. The grid in the panels will be kind of a truth wall, if you will, that it wasn't perfect, that it was made out of pieces. And JW, I know you were asking about what I'm going to do with the big opening here. I've actually got several more doors, some of which you've seen me stash in the big pile here. There's a few more in the garage, and I kind of want to make a big door, or a tri-fold, bifold, or quad-fold door, maybe two, out of those big doors, so can open it up all the way to reveal that whole opening. I'm going to add concrete anchors here once this concrete has fully cured and I can drill into it without messing it up. Of course, we'll finish the hearth up as well. And I realized that I put the wide panel of this door at the bottom and the wide panel of this door at the top, so I'm actually gonna flip this door around. Thankfully it's just put in there with some screws. Of course, I'm painting the back of those boards gray because I'm going to see them through the windows, so I have the uniform look. Alright, so it's time for me to get those cushions on the chair so I can actually sit in here. I am making progress toward finishing what I've started. This is probably the biggest project in this corner. I'm gonna keep at it. I'll probably deviate here and there to do some smaller projects, just because starting and finishing something is kind of nice. But I'm going to be diligent about moving forward on this project. Only moving forward, which means I need to clean up the mess in there right now. Alright, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.